Greetings, seekers. It's Brooke from BrookeReadsTarot.com, coming to you from always beautiful Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania. This is your tarot outlook for the week beginning Sunday, September 4th, 2022. Those fall vibes are definitely in the air. I've noticed some trees in my area that are divesting themselves of their leaves, so I think fall is on its way. And with that said, stay tuned to these weekly updates because some of them may include a tea leaf reading. I am a tea enthusiast and I really enjoy using my vintage tea sets, so I'm going to put that to good use as the weather continues to get chilly. So anyway, seekers, there's always the possibility of profanity when I speak, so my content is not intended for young audiences. All right, so before I shuffle up, I'll kindly ask you to like, share, and subscribe on whichever platform you are joining me from. And if you enjoy our time together, please visit BrookeReadsTarot.com to book a session of your own, as well as to see an inclusive list of sites where my weekly outlooks are uploaded and where you can find me on social media. So I invite you to sit with me this morning and take a little time out for yourself as I ask the cards what we need to know for the week upcoming. For these outlooks, I like to pull cards for past or present as well as future. That way I can see if we have any previous or currently unfolding events that are influencing this week's happenings. If you find nothing in this session that seems to apply to you, know that Tarot considers no news to be good news. So keep listening to your intuition. But I hope that you will stay, at least for its entertainment value, but also to see if there's a relevant tidbit for someone that you love. So get yourself settled and say hello to my guide and doorkeeper, Fergus. I'm going to take a few breaths and open the channel. Mother Goddess, Father God, guides, guardians, ancestors, please be with me now as I have need of your knowledge of all things past, present, and future on behalf of those experiencing this transmission in a timely fashion. Please grant that I am the perfect channel. Please grant that I am the perfect receiver. Please grant that I am the perfect interpreter of your knowledge as it shows itself in my cards. Fergus, please open the door to any and all loving, benevolent beings and our own dearly departed who would like to contribute truthful, accurate, relevant information to this session. And lastly, please bring me to the level you need me to be so that I may serve both the living and the dead. And so it is. All right, so I'm going to shuffle and cut 3 times, seekers, and I will lay 5 cards for our past and currently unfolding influences, and then 5 more to show what the upcoming week is going to bring. This is shuffle and cut number 2. And shuffle and cut number 3. So if you've joined me more than once, you've seen how many times my deck gets shuffled during each session. So when we come up with cards that show themselves multiple times, if we saw it last week or the week before, that's really not much of a coincidence considering that there's 78 cards in the deck, right? So that's how we can often tell when things are continuing to require our attention. Okay, so past or currently unfolding influences over the week beginning September 4th, 2022, we have pulled the Death card, the Knave of Swords, Pentacles, 2 of Swords, and 9 of Cups. All right, so the Death card is not one that shows itself all that often in my deck. So I'm sort of glad that it's presented itself. That sounds really wrong, but let me explain and you'll understand why. Okay, so Sorry, I've got some construction going on outside of my studio, so please ignore any equipment sounds that you may hear. So when the death card comes up for me, let me explain to you my relationship with spirit, okay? As a channel, as someone who can communicate with the world of spirit. Under no circumstances whatsoever am I ever allowed to refer to the death card as an indicator of an upcoming passing. Never, ever, 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 no matter what my intuition knows, I am never allowed to reveal that information. Spirit will kick me out of the chat always and forever. Amen. My readings after that will be absolute garbage because they will terminate my channel, okay? And here's why. We are such loving, compassionate beings who never want to hurt other people, who want to be proactive about the things that we can change. Death is not one of them. And we, in our loving kindness, will do absolutely catastrophic things in order to stop what is supposed to happen from happening. Okay? So, never fear, never ever fear. When the death card comes up in a reading with me, we are talking about someone who has already passed, okay? And it is no surprise to anybody, all right? Or we are talking about a situation that came to a very sudden, unchangeable, and usually difficult and traumatic end. As my dad would say, it was all over but the crying. All right. So, death card for overarching influences coming up for the week of September 4th shows me that we are coping with emotions from something that's happened in the past or that is currently unfolding that is very difficult for us, was very difficult for us, that we have no power to change. Okay? We have no power to change this. So all that's left is for us to decide how we want to feel about it. Okay? Now, this sudden abrupt end, we have to remember, just because it hurt to let it go, just because it hurt to have it come to an end, does not mean it was not in our best interest, does not mean it was not for our greater good. Okay? Sometimes it's difficult for us to recognize that difficult ends from difficult relationships are relieving and that we deserve to feel that relief. So whatever this past trauma was, whatever this event was that came to a very difficult and unchangeable close, those feelings are going to be overarching this week. And I encourage you to find a better way, a way that is better for you, to decide how you want to feel about this. And again, if you've tuned in with me more than once, I will recommend to you 33 Steps by Stuart Wilde. This is the one book after 30 years of study and practice in all things self-help and metaphysical that has brought me anywhere close to what I would call inner peace. All right, so spend some time with Uncle Stewie. You can find a free link on YouTube to that audiobook, and there's something in there for everybody. All right, so we got that difficult card out of the way. Now let's come over here to some swords. We're going to talk about the Knave of Swords and the Two of Swords. Now, when knaves come up for me, and we are not speaking about a person who is in body or recent or deceased, knaves represent immature, untested energy, unexamined energy within the suit that they represent. And in this case, swords is our house of challenges and difficulties, but also the realm of the logical, linear, rational mind, okay? And when knaves come up, it shows me that there is room to grow. This is the beginning of a journey of maturity in regards to this house. So you may find yourself finally picking up the tools that you require, picking up the knowledge that you require to prepare yourself to deal with the difficulty, to step up to a challenge, or to overhaul the way that you have been allowing your so-called rational mind to influence your decisions. Okay. Let's remember that the rational mind is a wonderful tool for balancing the checkbook, but it is often misplaced in the realm of our emotions and our relationships. Okay. So, part of this journey of maturity includes us learning how to be fluid and how to properly apply our tools to our situations and our issues, okay? And the issue, this currently unfolding or past issue, the Two of Swords. The Two of Swords shows me that you are working with a situation, or the situation has passed and now we still have decisions to make concerning it. Okay. Two of swords shows us that we have difficult choices. None of these choices seem ideal. None of them are easy, but we don't know enough about either one in order to make a wholesome decision right now. We just feel like we don't know enough. This is a card that says there may be things that are continuing to unfold that are delaying our decision, and that this stuff is pretty complicated. This stuff is pretty complicated. Now, last week we had a visit from the Hanged Man, which showed us that we need to cultivate some flexibility at the very least when it comes to how we perceive and how we choose to think about the issues in our lives and the things that we are experiencing. The Two of Swords shows us why cultivating that trait in ourselves is so very important. Life is full of difficult decisions, of course, and we always want to make the decisions that are the most informed choices that we can. But sometimes that information isn't always as forthcoming as we would like it to be. The Knave of Swords shows me that you may have to finally marshal your energy and focus your resources, or, your abilities to rising to this challenge and finding this information, okay, and following it to its logical conclusion. But whatever this is, because I'm not following the knave with the Knight of Swords or the King of Queen of Swords, that shows me that this journey for you, there may be no clear second stepping stone. Okay, this is a very new beginning for you. This is the start of a very, very new enterprise in your realm of challenges and difficulties and how you decide to think about things. Okay, it's all right. Start slow. I have nothing in here that says we are under a time pressure or that we are facing any sort of calamity. So take your time, learn what you can about these decisions. All right, and yeah. Don't be afraid to ask the hard questions. Don't be afraid to ask the hard questions. Now let's come over here to the Three of Pentacles and the Nine of Cups. These are two cards that do not usually show themselves together when I read. Okay, so I am sort of going to toss the meanings of these off to you and leave it up to you to really find where it applies in your upcoming week here. So the Three of Pentacles is always the card of promotion and elevation in our sphere of the material. The Three of Pentacles shows me that whatever work that you are doing, where you are making an honest, concerted effort, all right, where you really are putting your focus, it is being noticed in a positive way by people who have the ability to elevate your position, give you that promotion, or perhaps headhunt you to a different place, a different company, a different place of employment where you can better flourish and rise above where you are right now. So keep up the good work. Influential people are watching. But this Nine of Cups sort of is telling me we don't want to show off. The Nine of Cups for me is almost always an indication of being shallow, being overly concerned about what it looks like on the outside, being overly focused on creating such a magnificent first impression, or creating and maintaining a very desirable looking external presentation, that we are neglecting the actual substance that should be underneath it. The Nine of Cups tells us that it matters what's on the inside. Okay, so don't fake it. Don't fake it. The figure in this card has beautiful clothing, very rich clothing. He looks very pleased with himself. But all of those cups that signify the capacity for emotion and relationships, it's all empty. It's all empty. So maybe the message here is, yeah, you're getting positive attention for your work. Don't ham it up. Don't ham it up. Keep it authentic. Keep it real. We don't want to seem shallow. We don't want to seem like we are blowing our own horn. We will need to put our money where our mouth is when it comes to who we think is watching. Okay? So those are our overarching influences. Let's come in here to what we can look forward to for the week upcoming. Who's this asshole? Who's this asshole? All right. Last week we had a discussion, well, and I think the week before as well, dealing with toxic teammates, dealing with toxic environments at work, dealing with the mean girls, dealing with the bullies who manipulate others into being their allies. Yeah. So when the Seven of Swords comes up for me, hands down, every single time, this is a card of theft. This is a card of manipulation. This is a card of deception. This is a card that says we say one thing and we do another, and under the cover of darkness, under the cover of lies, under the cover of whatever it is that we can cover, we are literally trying to walk away with more than we can carry. All right. I don't know where this is coming from for you. I recognize this influence in my daily life. I know who this person is. But what is it for you? Because I'm coupling it here with the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands that shows that there's a desperate need for leadership. There's a desperate need for leadership. So this could be a band of bullies. This could be a system, an unregulated or not regulated the way that it should be, that is existing to serve itself. Okay, so keep your eyes open, keep your ears open. If it sounds dishonest, run away, run away. You do not want to be caught up in whatever this is. All right. If this is you taking advantage of someone, knock that shit off. Nothing that is ever our truest heart's desire do we ever have to take from someone else. Never, ever, 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 ever. Full stop. Full stop. This can be benefiting from chaos, benefiting from other people's lack of focus, all right, benefiting from their panic, all right. Keep your resources close, all right. Stay away from anybody who is making decisions or making plans that could go not well, all right. Stay away from people who are doing rotten shit right now. You don't need to be part of that, all right. Separate yourself from that, all right. So let's come in here now with the Two of Pentacles and the Ten of Pentacles. All right, Ten of Pentacles, I think we saw this for last week. This is money to be made and work to be done in a public setting. Again, this is the card of our waitstaff, our stockbrokers, our salespeople, our bus drivers, everybody who has to sort of deal with the public at large in order to do their work. Okay, and then we've got the Two of Pentacles that shows us the money situation right now is sort of even in, even out. Two of Pentacles is a balanced budget, and it can also suggest that we may have the opportunity to repurpose, redelegate some of our material resources, tangible resources. They may be powering one sector, one project right now, but they can be reallocated to power something else. Okay. So consider shifting things around in order to get the most out of them when it comes to your financial sphere, your work, the job, all of that kind of stuff. And temperance. Oh, we have been seeing this card pretty much on the regular. The Temperance and the Star card we have been seeing on the regular because they are both cards to me that ask for balance first and foremost. Well, Temperance, of course, it is very much what it sounds like. Temperance is balance. And for most of us, that balance that we are seeking is between the mundane and the physical stuff, the 9 to 5, that makes our physical world go around. But also, too, this balance where we also keep one foot in the waters of the creative, the emotional. That's our self-care, okay? That's the way that we take care of ourselves. Again, we can't pour from an empty cup. All right. Self-care looks different to everybody. So however it is that you take care of yourself, take care of your body, take care of your most interpersonal world. Make sure that that is in balance with the things that you have to do in your outward life and your mundane life. All right. That's been a big balancing act for lots of people once it was brought to our attention that most of us were reaching for things pre-COVID that didn't really serve us, and that we were giving away our essence to people and institutions and structures that do not recognize, let alone appreciate, our humanity and what our innermost needs are. That is always your responsibility to make sure that you are truly getting what you need. Okay, so that is that. And I don't have any cards here that say that we're getting a visit from one of our dearly departed. So anyway, know that they are always with you. They are always rooting for you. And all you ever have to do is ask. All right. That seems to be all for now, seekers. I give my thanks to all who lovingly sat with me today. May we have the good sense to pay attention to what we have been shown and to remember that we are loved and supported. Virgos, please close the door until next time. Please like, share, and subscribe, and visit BrookeReadsTarot.com to book a session of your own if you enjoyed our time today. Make it a good week, seeker, and remember, the light at the end of the tunnel is probably you. Till next time.